Richard has been talking about the memory clip of the week, which is 3450. So if you missed that on the first segment, we're linking to it here on the second segment. But Rich, we want to start this segment off focusing back over to Iran. The Iranian Speaker of the Parliament. What can you tell us about that?
The Iranian Speaker of the Parliament recently made a statement that the Iranian enemies are the ones who are creating new plots against the regime. This has been a common charge that they've been making in the last few months. Plots against the regime, the Iranian regime. What's going on in Syria is a Western plot. And he mentioned by name, he mentioned the occupying Zionist regime. He never says Israel. But he spoke about the United States and the UK, and they continue on with this theory that everything that's going wrong there is all because of some kind of Western plot. At the same time, the Saudi Arabian foreign minister said that an Iranian nuclear program escalates the threat level. He was speaking at a meeting of the Gulf, the GCC Gulf countries. Let's not forget, back in December 2011, the former Saudi head of intelligence said that Saudi Arabia may need to go nuclear in order to deter Iran if Iran is nuclear. So this has to be all taken in context. On Friday, actually, the Institute for Science and International Studies published a report. It's on its website, demonstrating that the amount of uranium production, current production that Iran is doing is beyond its realistic needs. If you recall, 2 weeks ago, Iran, there was reports in the press that Iran had enriched uranium up to 27%. Turns out that was just a technical glitch and irrelevant, but it was also disclosed by International Atomic Energy Agency that Iran has far more uranium than it needs. The ISIS put out a similar report published on Friday. It can be found on its website. And on Friday, actually, the 44 senators wrote a letter to the president because the next round of talks with Iran started yesterday, Monday, in Moscow. And the 44 senators wrote to the president saying that at the very least, Iran should commit to not enriching uranium past 5% and hand over all the uranium it has enriched beyond 5%, arguing that they're concerned that Iran is using the talks, negotiations as a stalling technique, and emphasizing that the United States would have to take other measures other than negotiations if Iran doesn't show any sign of good faith. At the same time, slightly different area, the President wrote a letter to Congress notifying Congress that the United States Armed Forces are, in fact, in, quote, direct action in Yemen and Somalia, meaning all sorts of covert operations, and Yemen and Somalia is where AQAP and Al-Shabaab are headquartered. That and Al-Qaeda in the North Africa are the latest growing threats, now that Al-Qaeda Central has been greatly diminished over the years by all sorts of operations.
Well, Rich, that is a full and wholesome report for today, and you did it right within the 5 minutes, man. That was pretty good. All right. Appreciate you coming on the program. Hope you had a good weekend as well. And, we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you very much, Joe.
All right. Thanks again. Bye now.